Welcome to Confessions with Cynthia, where we explore careers, relationships, and lifestyles of Homo sapiens.
Hello, I'm your host Cynthia, and today's special guest has never been bitten by a mosquito and was born with 2 adult teeth that never came through. Please welcome John.
Hi, I'm John Puckeridge-Webb, and I'm an actor.
Thanks for joining us, John. So, tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into acting.
I started acting about 4.5 years ago. It's something that I've wanted to do since I was a kid, but I never really picked it up until I was about 19, so yeah.
And was there like a movie or a theatre show when you were a child that you saw and you were like, oh, I really want to be an actor, this is so cool?
I think as a kid, not really. Maybe Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy. But I feel like I really fell in love with acting when I first watched Stranger Things and probably just Marvel movies in general. But Stranger Things really stuck it.
So it brought something out of you, like, oh, I really see yourself in the television series as something that you saw you wanted to do.
It wasn't so much that I saw myself. I got so obsessed with the show, and I'd watch on YouTube behind the scenes, and I just fell in love with the atmosphere that was on set and the relationships being built, and I was just like, I really want to do that really badly.
That's so cool. And did you actually study any acting in high school prior to watching Stranger Things at all?
I didn't know. I did some acting training as a kid. But I went to an all-boys Catholic school, which was mainly sports, and I wasn't the sporty type, so I didn't really have anything to express myself creatively. So that's why I took a gap year after I graduated high school before I even decided that I wanted to be an actor.
And what was like some of the things that you learnt in your first kind of like dabbling into acting when you went into acting classes?
That it's scary. It was so scary. I realized that I was really out of my depth, and it really showed me how unconfident I was, and it brought out so much anxiety.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Other than that, it seemed like you kept going on even though you felt so uncomfortable. What kept you going apart from this is something you still really want to do even though you're so out of, your comfort zone?
Again, thinking back on the Stranger Things thing, watching more and more behind the scenes and seeing these actors work with each other on set, I think it was the relationships that they built with each other, and I just loved that so much, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And to this day, there's not a day that goes by that I'm like, I'm not going to be an actor. It's what I'm going to do. And I guess I just stay passionate and obsessed with it, and that's what just keeps me going.
I love that. And I know that we did studying acting school together. How did you find that experience?
Well, I mean, it's NIDA. Getting into NIDA alone, even though it wasn't the 3-year course, oh my God, that was something else. I remember getting the call and I started crying in my car because I got into NIDA. That's crazy. That's so crazy. And the teachers were amazing. The facilities were amazing. I learnt so much. I built so much confidence. It was my first time working with Pip Edwards, who's an incredible acting teacher.
Yep, she is.
And she is still in my life today as somewhat of a mentor. I had her at Screenwise as well. And yeah, I learnt so much at NIDA. It was a brilliant experience.
Absolutely. And I agree with you completely. It was something that was amazing to get that phone call and be like, you got the role, essentially. After the audition, I almost cried as well. It was an ethereal experience where you're going to such a prestigious school, and having met you and our little class was something of a privilege because we did it. And also we went through a whole year together during the pandemic, acting together, almost like sharing all
Zoom
of our
classes.
thoughts together and just being so close together and not losing our minds in the process. And graduating at the end of the year was kind of bittersweet, would you say?
It technically wasn't my first time at NIDA. I did do an 8-week course there in 2019, which was kind of my real first taste at acting training. And that 8 weeks I still hold very dear to me. I learnt so much in that 8 weeks. But getting into the 1 year course, that was crazy. That was crazy.
And was it a little bit different in terms of like having 8 weeks crash course compared to like a 1 year long course? What was the difference that you found?
It's a bit more of a sad thing, I guess. The 8-week course was very bittersweet because I built so many like relationships and it ended really quickly. I guess just being around so many amazing people for so long, for a whole year, apart from 8 weeks, was just, it was something else. I learnt so much. You would bounce off each other, and it was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you did dabble your toes into the water a bit, just to do a bit of extras acting and stuff like that.
Beforehand, yeah.
Yeah, so how did you find that?
That was crazy because when I was about 14, 15, 16, up until I was 19, I just dreamt of being on a set, so badly. I just wanted to be around the cameras and the crew and the other actors. And my first real experience on set was as an extra on a movie called Hearts and Bones. And that was something else. That was crazy because the story behind that is I said to my mum after a gap year, I want to be an actor. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be a manager anymore at the place I was working at. I want to be an actor. And she said, okay, let's try and work towards you becoming that. And 2 weeks after I said that to her, someone walked into her office. It was a location scout, and said, we're filming a movie outside your office. And she chased after him down the hall and said, my son wants to be an actor. And
That's so sweet.
And then he gave her his email and said, we're looking for extras for this movie. And then 2 weeks after that, so a month after I told him I wanted to be an actor, I was on set with Hugo Weaving, and it was crazy. And it was only a day. It was so fun. I immediately fell in love with it. It really showed me that, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to spend my time on set.
Oh, that is such an experience.
And then 2 weeks after that, I was an extra on something else, and it just kept on going. I was getting all these extra roles, and it was really fun.
Amazing. And did the time on set meet your expectations going into it?
Oh my God, yeah. I never wanted to leave. It would be a 12-hour shoot, and when the 12-hour shoot was over, I'm like, let's do another 12 hours. I want to stay.
Oh, you got the acting bug there.
I did. It bit me hard, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And tell me, there must be some funny stories. Can you give us a few?
All right. So I'll tell a story from Hearts and Bones, the first one I was on. So I met the incredibly talented Lawrence Ola on Hearts and Bones, who was my real first acting friend. And we got into costume and we got on set, and I remember they were doing a take, and halfway through the take, someone started snoring, and it's because Lawrence fell asleep on the hospital bed because we were filming in a hospital.
Oh, no.
And they had to cut the take, and Hugo was laughing and Lawrence was asleep, and it was funny because in the shot he had a blanket over him, and then he had like socks on that were like party socks, and it just was really silly because everyone had to stop and wake up Lawrence.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good moment, and especially with Hugo Weaving laughing together with you guys.
Yeah, in the background, it was so funny.
And then, what were some of like the most memorable moments that you had on set that you hold dear to your heart?
So the most memorable moment I have on set is on the set of Thor: Love and Thunder, because I was an extra on that, and it was my last time being an extra because I said I'm not going to be an extra anymore. I'm only going to do things with words in it, dialogue. But there was about 200 of us. We were all in the main courtyard of the set, which is the center of New Asgard. And I remember the AD came up to us and they had to pick 5 extras out of the 200, and they picked me. And we got up to set, and it was me, Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, and Taika Waititi, and all the crew. So it was just us 7 or us 8. And then they positioned all the extras for the scene, and then they said to me, we don't actually need you. And I said, can I just sit here and be quiet and just watch? And because they were running low for time, they said yes. So I just sat there for half an hour and just watched Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman improv with each other while Taika Waititi was standing next to me with a megaphone directing them.
Oh my goodness.
That was the craziest experience I've ever had on set.
And you know what's even crazier? Remember Mohini?
Yes, I remember Mohini.
She was the assistant director.
I think I saw her, and I think I saw someone else. Oh, I forgot her name. She was redheaded, but not Zoe. Someone else. I forgot her name. She was there. We bumped into each other on set.
Really?
Someone,
You did?
someone that you know as well.
Oh, Rafaela.
It might have been her.
Was it?
Maybe. I don't recognize the name.
Oh, gosh.
It's been a long time as
Yeah,
well.
it's
That
been
was
a while.
2021 we filmed that. And,
Yeah.
you know, I haven't seen you in 3 years.
Yeah,
or
that's
anyone else at
true.
NIDA in 3 years. So
We've just been busy doing our own thing.
yeah.
But
yeah.
hearing you doing your acting and also progressing with your dream is just so lovely to hear. And I know that a lot of people that either study acting or NIDA don't really get to that stage due to financial issues or
Yeah.
potentially family stuff. But it's really encouraging to see you thriving in the industry today
Yeah.
as it is. And you look like you're beaming as well. So it's so good to see. and so
Any
wholesome.
opportunity I get to talk about acting, I will. I love the
Yeah.
industry so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough, but if you love the art and you love being on set like you do, you don't feel like it's work. You feel like
No, it's fun.
this is like a home for you.
It's so
right?
fun. I feel very much at home when I'm on set. The second I'm surrounded by cameras and lights and extras and crew, I love it so much.
Definitely. You're listening to Confessions with Cynthia. Here with John. So tell me about your first proper audition.
It's a very interesting story. So I was doing a shift at the place I was working at, and I remember I got a email on my phone, and I just picked it up and looked at it, and I put it down. I saw half the email. I saw that it said audition. That's all I read. And when my shift ended 4 hours later, I saw that they wanted me to submit a self-tape for a TV show on Channel 9, but they wanted it submitted an hour ago. And I emailed back saying, thank you for the opportunity. Sorry for the late reply. And they said, if you can get it to us in the next hour, we'll consider it. So I rushed home. I have never done an audition before. I've never actually acted before, technically. I've only done an extra role. I grabbed my phone, I printed off the script, and I had no room in my house because I lived with 6 people. So I went into the back shed. I set my phone up upright, so it wasn't even landscape. I filmed this audition in terrible lighting, wearing a shirt with a stain on it, reading from the script. And then they emailed back saying, can you do another one quickly but without the script and put the phone landscape? And I said, yes, sure. So I had to quickly memorize this script, even though I've never memorized a script before. And I submitted it. And the next day they sent me an email saying I got the job. And that was my first ever audition.
That's amazing. And it didn't go as planned, but you got it.
I
and
got
that's
it.
the most important thing is like you did your best and you submitted it hoping for the best and you got it. And that's like a dream come true.
It was incredible. Getting an email saying you got the job. It has like, you know, this show, well, you'll have some dialogue. It was called Murder, Lies and Alibis on Channel 9. And it was a 3-day shoot. 2 of them are overnight, which was one of my dreams as a kid to do overnight shoots just because it seemed so fun being on set with everyone overnight. It's like a big sleepover. It was so cool. And it was so cool. I got to work with the amazing Lauren Lothberg. It was just, yeah, it was so brilliant. So much fun.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. And I'm so glad you got the role. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in all of your shows,
Thank
honestly.
you so much.
No, you're welcome. Okay. Do you have any other interesting stories on set for us?
I have 2 pretty funny stories, both involving a toilet.
Oh no. Okay, is this good or bad?
It's fine.
Okay.
This is another one on set of Thor: Love and Thunder. It's a very quick story. It's just I remember I left to go to use the bathroom, and when I was on the toilet, I was sitting there and I could hear someone outside the toilet stall, and I was like, that sounds like Borat. And sure enough, after I washed my hands and walked out, Sacha Baron Cohen was standing outside my toilet.
No way.
On the phone, which is funny because I worked with his wife 2 weeks later on the Stan original Wolf Like Me, Isla Fisher. And then that's going to go into the next toilet story. When I was working on set of Wolf Like Me and I went to the toilet and then I heard the toilet door open, and when I walked out to wash my hands, Josh Gad, aka Olaf from Frozen, was standing at the urinal. And I washed my hands and I left, and it was really funny.
Oh no. So it's just like, oh, I know this person, but I'm not going to make any eye contact.
No, I didn't talk to him. I didn't make eye contact. I just knew it was him. And I washed my hands and left, scurried back to my extras holding pen.
Oh, at least you're being very polite and like considerate given the situation.
I've heard so many horror stories of celebrities bumping into people in bathrooms and them asking for photos and autographs, and I'm like, that's so inappropriate to ask someone when they're using the toilet.
Oh, absolutely. And that goes for anybody. And that was so good of you not to do that as well. Yeah, for sure. And you said you promised you had another story. Please deliver that to us.
Oh, yes. On the same set with Isla Fisher, it was a stunt scene, and she had to run past my table. It was in a restaurant. We were filming in a restaurant. And every single take, they had to do kind of like a crash scene where Isla Fisher crashed into someone and they would drop a plate of breakaway glasses onto me. Isla Fisher was the sweetest person ever. After every take, she would give me a big hug and make sure I'm okay. And we did that 5 or 6 times, and it was just so fun to be able to work with Isla Fisher. And I really wanted to tell her that I saw her husband 2 weeks ago outside the toilet.
That would have been funny. I don't think she would have been surprised at all.
No, probably not. It's Sacha Baron Cohen, but it felt a bit inappropriate, so I didn't.
Oh, that's so sweet. And I'm so glad that she was so giving to you on set and looking after you, because sometimes, like in those kinds of situations, when you're close to an actor, you're doing something that's physical, you may accidentally hurt them. And I'm sure like she's very well aware of that, and you were so sweet and kind as well, where you were like, yeah, I'm fine, you know, and you would have said something if you weren't. Is that correct? Yeah, of
course. I mean, I've done lots of scenes with actors that are more intimate, mostly extra roles. I was in I did a Netflix original as an extra. I was only on set for 4 hours, and it was with Toni Collette, and the scene I had to pin a microphone on her blouse, so at the start of the scene my head was in front of her blouse for a good 20 seconds, and we were just chatting while I'm like this close to her chest area. And she was so sweet, and we spoke about how we both grew up in Blacktown and how we both went to NIDA. And yeah, I guess if you just be respectful to these people, you know, it's their full-time job, and you know, we're all on set for the same reason.
Absolutely. It's like the camaraderie where you look after each other on set, you respect each other's personal space, you kind of understand that when you're in an intimate scene or at like a scene where it has physicality involved, that you understand this, we're both okay, this is a safe area to do this.
Yeah, you just have to be really respectful.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's their job, and you know, these people, these professionals have been doing it for, you know, such a long time, way longer than me. Toni Collette's been in the industry since the 90s. Same with Isla Fisher and Josh Gad as well, I think probably the early 2000s. So, you know, always be professional. I don't get starstruck, you know, because at the end of the day, we're all on set for the same reason, which is to create a movie or a show.
I love it. Yeah, definitely. Something to take away and some wonderful memories. Thank you for sharing that with us, John.
That's all right. Thank you.
You're listening to Confessions with Cynthia. Here with John. Now, I know it's not all rainbows and sunshine, so there must have been some difficult moments for you that, you know, probably happened behind the scenes or on the set or just in life in general. What were some of the difficult moments that helped you grow?
Like I said, when I first went to acting school, like, you know, it really brought out heaps of anxiety and stuff because I realized I wasn't as confident as I thought I was. And when I was on multiple sets and stuff, I started having panic attacks, and I think it's just because I was surrounded by so many people, or I was scared because it was so daunting. You know, I would have panic attacks at home, you know, in fear that it's not going to work out. Rejection obviously is a big thing. I think that hits every actor at some stage. At the start of my acting career, everything kind of fell in my lap really fast. I was very lucky, you know. I landed my first ever audition for a show on Channel 9, and that was brilliant. And then I started to get more auditions, and I didn't get every single one, and I haven't since. And I think that is something that took me a long time to overcome. Like, still, it still hurts a lot. I'm a lot better with rejection now. Now I use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. But at the time, it really messed me up. So, yeah, rejection, you know, my anxieties, and I was having multiple panic attacks. Yeah.
Definitely. And it's something that a lot of people go through in this industry, and rejection is very hard, especially when they come thick and fast comparatively to when you get roles, which is not as often as you'd like.
No.
But since starting off your journey as an actor, how do you feel about it now?
I love it more now than I did 3 years ago. You know, it's become a part of my family. It's everyone that knows me as, you know, John. Oh yeah, he's an actor. You know, it's become such a big part of my self-image, and it's to this day still something I think about from morning to night. The only difference is now I know so much more about it, and I'm less scared, and my anxiety is a lot easier to manage. And yeah, I love it so much more than I did 3 years ago, and I don't think I'll ever get over it.
Amazing. I love that. That's incredible to hear, really.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, sometimes it does get to people like myself.
Yeah.
I could say it really did get to me, but now I'm getting to the point where I'm finding a bit of light in the darkness, and it seems like you found the light as soon as you could. And we want to know, like I want to know specifically, how did you curb the negative thoughts on rejection?
And it's a bit silly, but it worked for me. I just kept on watching YouTube videos of actors doing interviews and behind the scenes, and it just made me really be like, you know, if they can do it, so can I, you know, and seeing my friends around me succeed brings me even more motivation. I refuse to get jealous if someone lands a role that I know. Like my friend, the very talented Pez Warner, is filming a show right now. She got casted as a lead. And, you know, I love her dearly, and she got casted, and that was brilliant. Lawrence Ola, who I mentioned before, his career has taken off since, you know, him and I became friends, getting 2 guest star roles on 2 massive TV shows, which have come out this year. And that just keeps me motivated, if anything. You know, that doesn't break me down or make me jealous. You know, it shows me that if they can do it, so can I. I will. I know I will.
Absolutely. And it feels like you have that beautiful friendship that you wanted as well on set. You met so many wonderful friends, and that you still are friends today. And I feel like being as positive as you are and rooting for your friend's success, that has actually helped you in your success because they're rooting for you as well. Do you find that?
Oh, it's so important, you know, to keep these friends so close. Since graduating at Screenwise last year, every Monday without fail, 5 or 6 actors come to my house to self-tape. We haven't missed a single Monday, really. We have a couple off, but I have a studio in my house, and we film self-tapes every Monday. Ashley Benson and Lewis Way, 2 of my dearest friends, they're just as motivated as me, and we bring each other up, and we refuse to let each other say we don't want to be actors anymore. And we always have this saying that it's only going to take one of us to make it into the industry, and then the rest of us will bring each other up. So
that is commitment.
Yeah.
And is there a mantra or practice that keeps you or helps you get into the zone more or less for an audition or a performance?
I guess music helps a lot, especially before an audition, to keep me motivated just watching movies and TV shows. But before an actual audition, everyone has their own different things. Some people might not read the script before an audition the day before. Some people might not do anything and just keep their head clear. I like to listen to music. So, yeah, that's my thing.
No, that's so good. I love listening to music too. Does it keep you calm as well when you find it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it distracts me.
Wonderful. And what is your favorite thing about being an actor? And I know this is a big question.
Yes.
But you can give me a few answers if you like. Go ahead.
I guess the most common answer would probably be that I get to play someone else. You know, I get to distract my brain from my normal life. But my real answer is just I get to be on set. I have just this absolute love for just being on an actual set. You know, I've had things come out that I'm in that I haven't even seen, because watching them is all well and cool, but I just want to be on set 24/7. I want it to be my job Monday to Friday. And yeah, I just love it so much. That's my favorite thing about it.
Wonderful. No, that's a really lovely answer. And from saying all of this and with your experience, what piece of advice would you give to people looking to start their journey becoming an actor today?
I guess just stay persistent and stay obsessed with it. And I know that can be hard, but obsession is what has gotten me to this point now. It's all I think about 24/7. And, you know, you'll have doubtful thoughts and they will come up a lot. But if you stay persistent and stay obsessed and I know a lot of people hate this word, but networking
Yeah.
is really important, and people hate doing it, but it doesn't need to be networking. It can just be creating friendships. Surround yourself with like-minded people, other creatives, people that want to do things. And, if you're not getting jobs, or you're not getting auditions, or you're not getting an agent, create your own stuff. Make TikToks or YouTube videos. Write your own stuff and act. That's probably the best advice you could give someone. Just create. So, yeah.
Amazing. That's so very well said. Well, thank you again for joining us today and sharing part of your story with us. If you'd like to find out more about John, you can follow him on Instagram at Puckeridge. The link will be available in the description. This wraps up our episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!